So about a year ago, Nelly's famous Wildwood mansion hit the market in St. Louis for the first time in almost 20 years. Now the place is insane. It's almost 11,000 square feet, sits on 12 acres of land, and get this, it was listed for $600,000. No joke, that was the list price because it was a short sale. So what ended up happening with the Nelly mansion? Now there were a lot of rumors, lots of talk, and lots of publicity about what happened, why the mansion was for sale at $600,000, what happened to the inside, and overall what the story was with Nelly. Back in 2002, Nelly paid $2.2 million for the place, so why was it offered for sale at just under $600,000? Long story short, people came up with all sorts of ideas and rumors about what happened and why the mansion was for sale 20 years later for almost a 75% discount compared to what Nelly paid back in the day. So the place was on the market in pretty rough shape. We could tell just from the pictures it was in pretty rough condition. So my team and I actually had a buyer who was interested in it. So he was an investor. He was curious about possibly buying it, fixing it up, and either selling it or living in it for himself. So we get there, we step in the door, and I mean, the place is insane. The place is a mess. I mean, you could tell what used to be there and then what it looked like at that point. Lots of stuff missing. There wasn't flooring. The place was falling apart, cracked windows, cracked mirrors. The floor was torn up. There was trash everywhere. There were boxes all over the place with, junk, clothes, all sorts of stuff that you could tell that he was moving, left a bunch of stuff behind in the house. And all the bathrooms and the kitchen were basically in mid-renovation. So it was like someone tore out the bathrooms and the kitchen and was in the process of putting in new cabinets and new counters and just stopped midway through. So it never got finished, new flooring was never put in. The place was basically a construction site. So it was listed in pretty rough condition. We had an idea of that before showing up. I mean, you could tell from the pictures. The place was not exactly livable. So my team and I had a client who was interested in possibly buying it. He was an investor, saw it online, and was very curious. So we did a showing with him. I was not the listing agent. A lot of people thought that from the previous video I posted. It was not my listing, but we had a buyer who was very interested in it. I mean, the place was crazy. We took pictures, videos, measurements, just to kind of get a general sense of what it would take. Long story short, he ended up deciding it wasn't a good investment. It was going to take way too much money and time to fix up. Plus, there were dozens of people who wanted to buy this place. I mean, like, we get there and it's not super busy, but by the time we're leaving after like an hour of being inside, the driveway, the circle driveway, was basically a parking lot. There were buyers, there were agents, there were probably just random people who showed up and were parking in front of this house. There were dozens, if not hundreds, of people who wanted to buy this house. So what ended up happening? So after the first weekend on the market, the place goes under contract like that. It was very quick. They got dozens of offers. Took a while to close. So it took 7 months to close on this property. Probably because it was a short sale and they had to go with the bank and dealing with all the financials and the paperwork. Long story short, it closes for $982,000, which is about 64% more than it was listed for. So the place takes about 7 months to close after going under contract. And if I had to guess, I'm sure there was a ton of back and forth with the bank, the buyers, the paperwork and documents for buying the house. I'm sure it was ridiculous. It closes just under $1 million, 7 months after it first came on the market. And actually last year, that mansion was one of 2 of Nelly's houses that sold. So the other one was in Lake St. Louis. It wasn't owned by Nelly at this point. He sold it a few years previously, but his former house in Lake St. Louis also ends up closing around the same time, mid-2021. The Lake St. Louis house didn't have as much publicity on it as the Wildwood mansion because A, he didn't own it anymore, it was a different seller, and it also sold off market. So no one really knew about it until it closes because it happened off market, ends up selling for $1,650,000 right on the lake. Like, it is the last house in the neighborhood, beautiful estate. And I mean, if you want a beautiful waterfront property example in Lake St. Louis, that house is it. Overall, it was a crazy year with Nelly's real estate in St. Louis. Lots of talk, lots of publicity, and lots of people asking questions about what happened with the mansion, especially after that last video I posted. I have a lot of people asking, Did it ever close? What did it sell for? Did he end up selling the mansion or not? So yes, it did end up selling with a huge amount of interest for just under $1 million last year. So I hope this video was a fun little follow-up to the Nelly Mansion video I did last year. Hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video right here on the Living St. Louis channel.